everyone, Automew the Violet Wizard here, and today we're continuing Pokémon Emerald. Last time we explored everything we could with our new Surf HM in the areas before advancing the main story, and we managed to get a lot of really good items out of it. And managed to make it all the way to Route 119 on our way to our next gym battle. But before we get started on that, there is something that I forgot to talk about last time that I wanted to quickly go over. Which means going back over this way to Route 123. Except you just kindly take out something, right? Really love the Thunderbolt move we got now. That's just... it's an amazing move. Definitely gonna make excellent use out of Alexa's abilities here. So back here on Route 123. What I failed to do was go into this house and show off what we could do here. You may call me the Berry Master. I dream of filling the world with beautiful flowers, so I raise berries and hand them out to everyone. You're deserving of one. So got a Magus Berry and a Cornberry. Be sure to visit the Pretty Petal Flower Shop near Muskrat. Let flowers fill the world. So I believe this guy will give you some random berries once a day. These ones are fairly unique if I remember correctly. Yeah, so these are kind of like previous berries where they don't really have any use in the... They don't really have any use outside of being used as an ingredient for something that we don't have access to yet. But that's pretty cool. Way my husband grows berries. Oh, he's the best in the world. He makes me proud that he does. Incidentally, child, have you heard a good saying lately? So this is an interesting thing we got here. So let's switch to ABC. So this woman will give you certain berries when you input two specific praise for her. And I know of one of these like right off the bat, so we'll get this done. Great battle. Ah, what a remarkable saying. Inspirational it is. I want you to have this. We get a Spell-on berry from that. Our 4 grandchildren should become more accomplished than my husband. Joy never goes out of my life. So it's pretty interesting here. It's implied that these two are the grandparents of the girls who run the flower shop between Petalburg and Rustboro City, which again is a very nice bit of world building here. And this thing, the Spell-on, that looks like something I see on different websites. That's another ingredient for something we're going to be dealing with sometime in the future. Although given the amount of progress we're going to be making, it's probably not going to be too far before we finally get into that stuff. Which should be interesting. Should definitely make for an interesting stream session. Again, you can run into wild Magnetrix in this area, and these things are definitely good Pokemon if you haven't picked them up at this point. Very fast, very strong. That's kind of weird. I'm looking on my stream manager right now, and it's just really weird. It's not like keeping track of my session time right now, which is very weird. It was working just fine the last sessions I was doing. It's alright, I have other uses of keeping track of time. It's like, I'm probably gonna make a... Yeah, so... I'll definitely find a way to keep track of my usual 2-hour stream session, but it should be good with everything going forward. It's very nice that we have Jerk up front here, because Jerk is very close to getting a certain thing happening. Don't know why I'm being coy about it, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. Now the session timer's actually working now. I was wondering what was up with that thing. It's a no-go. The tall grass nears bike tires. No way you can cycle here. As this guy states, you cannot go forward on your bike. Oh, it's actually a neat thing here. So this route is one of the few routes that actually has natural weather going through it. The Mimic Circle is formed by people who like to mimic. Battle starts the instant we meet. In this case, we have a literal rainforest here on Route 119. So rain is definitely one of the more interesting weather statuses in the series. You're right there. It's a very unique status, in that it will boost the power of water-type attacks by 50%, while also lowering the power of fire-type moves by 50%. But rain is also very helpful because it affects a lot of different moves, so a move like Thunder will be hitting for 100% accuracy. In rain, it will also boost the accuracy of certain other attacks like Hurricane in later generations. And another great thing about rain is that there is a ton of different abilities that are also affected by it. So if you got a Pokemon with Rain Dish, for example, they will restore a bit of health at the end of each turn. So it's definitely good to have if you've got a Lombre on your team here. Another good thing is that some Pokemon can have the Swift Swim ability, which doubles their speed in rain. And oh boy, is that a deadly ability to have. So yeah, rain is just a very beneficial weather condition. So helpful on so many different Pokemon, it's just an incredible thing to have. And there are some Pokemon that actually have the ability to trigger rain on their own if they have the Drizzle ability. One popular user of that ability is Politoed, which we're probably not going to see during this playthrough, but it's a pretty good Drizzle user in the later generations. Funnily enough, Pelipper is also a Pokemon that can use Drizzle, but not in this generation, sadly. It's not until Generation 7, I believe, that it gets that ability, but it's definitely really helpful to have a Pelipper with Drizzle. Not only is it getting that boost for its water-type attacks, but I believe it's also one of the few Pokemon that can learn Hurricane, so it also gets that accuracy boost there. So, yeah, rain is just incredible as a weather condition. Definitely one of the more popular ones. Want to mimic you some more. Can you hurry up and move? Speaking of rain, oh boy, it's been very rainy and just kind of dreary the last couple of days. All week it seems like it's been raining every day, but luckily up here we haven't had too much rain today, so I don't know, things could be clearing up. I'm not really 100% sure, but yep, just kind of how things are going here. And with that, Jerk has finally reached level 36. Oh boy, this has been a long time coming. I'll gladly take out that last Ilamise before we show off the good stuff. So what's gonna happen to your starter at level 36? You're pretty strong. Hey, I just beat Greg Universe when he was a kid. Jerk is now evolving. All of the Hoenn starters will reach their final forms when they reach level 36. And for our fighting chicken, he becomes an even bigger fighting chicken. Blaziken. Easily one of my favorite fire types. This thing is really cool. And it's learning a red hot new move right off the bat, Blaze Kick. So you got a very strong attack with a little less in the accuracy department, but can still cause a burn. This thing is weaker than Flamethrower, which we've had for quite a few new sessions already. So, for this playthrough, I'm opting out of teaching Jerk his signature move, just because it is inferior to Flamethrower to me. But I would recommend this in other generations, because in generations that have the physical special split, Blaze Kick is one of the few physical fire-type moves you have access to. And depending on your Blaziken stat spread, then having both a special and a physical fire-type move will be very good. But yeah, I've been really excited for this. Jerk has definitely needed a much-needed power boost. I mean, look at that! His attack is so much higher than his special attack here. Like, if this was a generation that was not Gen 3, I would have easily taught him Blaze Kick. Oh man, but I'm still very happy for him. His moveset's really coming along, and we're going to get some even better moves for him down the line. But yeah, Blaziken is a very solid fire fighting type. 1 of 3 in the series, in fact. Like, just look at those stats again right quick. Yeah, pretty good offenses. His defenses and speed could be a bit better, but overall still pretty good. So for your other starter options, at level 36, Grovyle will become Sceptile, a very fast and very powerful special attacker. Overall, a very good Pokemon. It gets lots of great move coverage. It can outspeed so many different opponents in the game. It's a very solid grass type, and one of the better ones you'll find in this game. Marshtomp, meanwhile, becomes the ever-impressive Swampert, with massive HP, great defensive and offensive stats, plus the Water Ground typing making it have only one weakness. It's easily the most balanced out of all the starters you get in this game. It is so tremendously good, and I've had a lot of playthroughs with Swampert in them, and they've just always managed to impress me. They're just such good water types. Easily one of the best water starters we've got. And of course, if you are playing the Generation 6 games, this isn't at the peak of your starter Pokemon's power, because they are actually capable of Mega Evolution starting in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And Mega Evolutions are pretty good. Sceptile becomes a Grass Dragon type when it Mega evolves. Now, Blaziken and Swampert don't change typings, but they do get some hefty new abilities that definitely help them out. Like, Blaziken gets Speed Boost, which is incredibly useful for a Pokemon that doesn't really have the best speed when it starts off. And just making it build up more speed as the fight progresses really helps it out there. Going back to Sceptile, it gets the Lightning Rod ability, which is very good for absorbing electric-type attacks if you can predict them, and is also really good for because it benefits Sceptile in that it will raise its special attack when it is hit by the electric attack. So overall, a very good ability for boosting Sceptile's power and being able to support the team like that. Swampert, meanwhile, in its Mega form, gets Swift Swim as its ability, which is pretty good for a bulky water type that doesn't have a lot in terms of speed. Definitely helps it out if you manage to get it set up in the rain. Definitely a very solid addition to any team, really. Oh boy. It's definitely a moment I've been really looking forward to, having my starter evolve and just getting to gush about the Hoenn starters. Because I really feel like these are a very solid addition of starters, and I find that compared to some of the other rosters we've gotten in the earlier and especially later generations, I feel like the Hoenn starters are kind of underappreciated, because they have a lot of good strengths. they're not really the most complex starters and don't really have the most lore associated with them. But they're still fairly good. They've had a decent amount of presentation in the shows. So I feel like they have a reason to be appreciated. So new Pokemon here. So remember earlier on that one route when I said that Ralts was the rarest Pokemon you could find in that area? Turns out this thing is even rarer. Surskit. Only found in Ruby, Sapphire, and the remakes. It is completely unavailable in Emerald, so you can't find it in the wild. This thing is a bug water type that when it evolves becomes a bug flying type. Yeah, kinda don't like that addition, but... And it's kind of hard to recommend even if you're playing the Ruby and Sapphire, because... Don't get me wrong, I've used a Surskit on one of my teams, and she was good. She was an alright team member, not the most hard-hitting, but she was still pretty fast, and could learn quite a few different moves that you wouldn't expect a bug type to have, but... Yeah, just kind of an underpowered Pokemon in the original Generation 3 games. It definitely gets better as time moved on, and bug types got a lot of good move buffs to them to make them oh so better, and I could definitely recommend Masquerain a lot more. That's Surskit's evolution. But yeah, I could definitely recommend the Surskit line in later generations, especially Gen 7, which gave it a boost to its special attack and speed, making it even more powerful. I heard about a cave called the Cave of Origin. People rumor the spirits of Pokemon are revived there. But something like that really happen? I don't know, but it sounds cool. Slay's got a lot of Wingull. Pretty cool. But yeah, it's kind of hard to recommend Surskit in a generation outside of the ones where it's actually useful. Spoke to me. So you want to challenge me? Sure, I'll try the Pokemon I caught while surfing. But hey, we'll give Surskit credit for one thing, being the first bug water type, and nowadays, bug water types are awesome. Like, Araquanid and Golisopod are easily among my favorite Pokemon, so good on you, Surskit, for starting off one of my favorite type combinations. Also, felt like pointing out that water and bug are my two favorite types, so yeah. Meanwhile, this trainer here is interesting for one particular reason, if I'm remembering correctly. For one, he allowed Shanty to reach level 36, which is nice. I guess we can let Armstrong take this one out, even though it's really not the best Pokemon to send out against water types, but he is over-leveled at this point. He can easily handle this guy. Yeah, I feel a little bad about being this high level at this point, but I just really want to show off what you can get. Thanks to... Oh, apparently this isn't the guy. No, wait, he is. Okay, sorry. Thinking about his fourth Pokemon here. But yeah, I'm still fine with the levels as is. We're very high level compared to normal trainers at this point, but... It's not the normal trainers I'm worried about, it's the bosses in this game that I'm worried about, because got a lot of tough fights ahead of us, and I want to be prepared for it. Here we go, we got a new Pokemon here. Feebas is a pure water type, and is basically the Magikarp of Generation 3. In fact, it has the same moveset as Magikarp. The only real difference is that Feebas is actually capable of learning TMs, unlike Magikarp. And much like Magikarp, when it evolves, it actually becomes a very good Pokemon. In fact, it's one of the best Pokemon in this game. Not really gonna have a moment to talk about it until much later on, but it's definitely something we'll want to watch out for. On the topic of an interesting Pokemon to capture. It can only be found here on Route 119 by fishing. But the thing about it is that the way you get this thing is interesting. First, let's use the zinc on... Use it on Shanty, increase her bulk. I want to get over to the water here, so let's just dispose of this guy and get over there. Oh, out of strength. That's mildly disappointing. Very good, Armstrong. I'd actually consider just running from battles at this point. We don't need the experience. By the way, this shrub here, you can make a secret base with. So, you see the water here. If I were to use my fishing rod on most of the tiles here, I probably wouldn't even have the ability to catch a bee bass. So, all along Route 119, there are only 6 tiles of water that you can actually fish bee bass out of. And the tiles that they fish up is changes depending on the trendy saying over on Dewford Island. So that's what that mechanic is about. It actually affects where you are actually able to catch bee bass on this route, which is a really convoluted way of doing things. I'm really glad that they changed that whole thing and just made bee bass a rare encounter in future generations, so you don't have to like jump through all these hoops to get it. It's just a very odd way of actually catching this Pokemon. And I mean, I understand the whole making it a rarity thing, because the thing that this thing evolves into is a really good Pokemon, but seriously, the accessibility of it is just nuts. But yeah, I would recommend catching Feebas as a water type. Not in this generation, though. Well, it's a little awkward to try and find it, and by this point, you probably already found a water type for your team, so... kind of hard to recommend here, but in other generations, and I could definitely recommend it more. Alright, Armstrong, can you take this thing out? Good. And I'll cure that paralysis so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, wild Pokemon are really not giving us experience at this point. I should really just forget about battling things right now. We use this cherry berry we got to cure that, and we're good. And we got some more berries here. Citrus berries are very helpful, definitely want to pick that up. And I believe this one is a Lepa? Yeah, very good. So that's an additional PP restoring item. That'll be very helpful to us in the future. Another secret base point here. So we got an interesting new mechanic here. We have these railings here that are too thin for us to walk across, but we're able to cross just fine with our bike, and by doing the side hop technique, we're able to cross those little gaps in the path, allowing us to access this area, which has a calcium hidden here in the flowers. That's good. Is there anything else for us here? Alright, looks like that calcium was the only thing hidden there. Definitely want to use this, because, yeah, vitamin items are real good. We'll give that to Harlequin to increase the power of her attacks. Being a grass dart type, she is definitely going to make some good use out of her special stat. Alright, can we stop running into guys here? I really don't need to be fighting these things right now. Just want to move on, get to the next area without having to worry about these guys. I'll definitely be fighting every trainer we come across on these routes, but for wild Pokemon, I don't really need it. Your Pokemon use its secret power in a big pile of grass to make a secret base? I just went over that, buddy. Yes, you can. Oh, look at you. For summer adventure, you're traveling awfully light. So over here, I believe we got a new trainer class, Pokémon Rangers. Pokemon Rangers will typically use Pokemon that are associated with nature. In this case, we got Bloom, the evolution of Oddish. Let's take this thing out with an Iron Tail, because I know Armstrong can do that. Yeah, that's nice. On the topic of Armstrong and just having an evolution happen, we're not too far off from Armstrong finally evolving again. It's definitely gonna be a little while longer, especially depending on how things go with how we're progressing things in the story and between showing off different mechanics in this game, because we're coming up to an interesting gap in the story I just want to mention, where we're going to be focusing on mechanics that don't really have to do with the main story, but are still interesting to point out and talk about in this game. It's very bad that we're paralyzed and leech seated here. Come on, Armstrong, you just need one hit to take this thing out. I know you can do this. Come on, buddy. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Yep, looks like Armstrong's gonna get taken out here, which is unfortunate. Sorry, buddy. I'll get you healed up after this. Let's go to Shanty. Shouldn't have any problems against a Roselia, provided we don't get poisoned by its ability. So I know that can happen. Alright, good. Accidents happen when you're not prepared. That's why they're called accidents. Oh man, now I'm just thinking about this one joke from the new Phineas and Ferb movie that's just... Let's just say it involves Dr. Doofenshmirtz, a chicken, and an axe. And just, it's so funny. Alright, let us heal up our rock boy. Alright, all healed up, and we are good to go. Now, I don't like him being out of power points on strength right now, but we'll just have to deal with that. This guy I remember being interesting here. Who has the knowledge and the technique for survival? Pokémon Rangers, that's who. On the topic of Pokémon Rangers, that is actually the title of a spin-off series back around Gen 3 and Gen 4, the Pokémon Ranger games, and I've only played one game in that series, which was Shadows of Almia, but goddamn was that game fun. Just interesting going through the game as the Pokémon Rangers, where you call upon Pokémon to temporarily join you in order to help out with various crises across the areas that you explore. And pretty interesting stuff. I like the main gameplay element to it, how you draw circles on the touchscreen around the Pokemon in order to capture them. Very interesting. Definitely has some strong writing to it, as you would expect from one of the Pokemon spin-offs. Just overall a good time. I really enjoyed Shadows of Almia and wish I had the opportunity to play the other games, but for whatever reason, I didn't pick them up. It's got a chance for a double battle here. Wherever and whenever it may be, I always have my parasol in hand. I'll show you the true potential of me and my bird Pokemon. We're definitely going to be seeing a lot of birds in our future, just saying. It's got a Goldeen and a Swellow. Interesting matchup, but we should be able to handle them with this team. Alright, let's absorb Goldeen. It should be good. Really? You use wing attack against the Pokemon with a 4 times resistance instead of the Pokemon with a 2 times weakness. What an idiot. Like, I know the AI in this series can pull some dumb moves, but damn. Okay, can we please hit the Swellow? I know I haven't shown off Harlequin's spikes yet. It's definitely an interesting move that I want to use in some battle in the future, but it's actually kind of awkward because some of the boss fights coming up aren't really that good for a move like spikes, which is interesting to say the least. But it's alright, Harlequin's still going to get some good use out of some fights coming up. Alright, Swellow goes down. It's very good, because definitely hurting here in terms of power points. Oh, but that's not fair. We lack potential. I guess something I could have done before starting this session was go back to Mauville just to heal up the team so we have our full power points for this journey, but we're fine. We're almost at a healing area. My parasol's heavy. Your bag's filled more junk than I ever carry around. You're not wrong about that. Ever since I was a little kid, I always admired bird Pokemon. Hey, there's a lot of good bird Pokemon out there. So there's a ramp we could go up if we had the Lock Bike with me. But I felt like for the first time going through this area that the Aqua Bike would be seeing a lot more use here. It's definitely a lot more helpful. So that's why I went with that. We not encounter these guys right now. Don't need them. Scon Elixir there. Definitely a good item to pick up, as that will restore power points to all of your Pokemon's moves instead of just one. Oh, I like kick traders. Let's have a good one. No subtext to take from that. If you're not on your guard, you're in for some pain. I must say I really like the ninja boys that are hiding behind that, like, claw thing to make them look like they're disguised in nature. That's a really cool little detail. It's a shame we don't have those there. That'll be helpful, but hopefully we can take these guys out here. It's actually a bad idea to have a Harlequin out here, because that Ninjask can deal really bad damage to her. Hopefully Armstrong's able to take it out. Oh, that's bad for Armstrong, too. Okay. Let's definitely switch Harlequin out to a Pokemon that's much more fitting for this fight here. Yeah, Shanty will be good. As we're dealing with this, what's some stuff that's been going on? Well, I'm just enjoying my day off from work right now. I haven't really been working on art right now, but that's going to change with my recent evolution, of course. Ooh, Magnitude 8. That's going to hurt Armstrong a lot. Hang in there, buddy. I know you got defense. The power of the defense stat. My God. I mean, yeah, that Numel is 10 levels below me, and Armstrong is really high defense, so yeah, it's understandable why he didn't take so much damage from that. Damn! So for stuff that's been going on, let's see. Been watching some more BoJack. That's still pretty good. 36, pretty good there, Armstrong. So I've been playing more Tetris 99, because, God, that game is fun, and some more Animal Crossing, of course. So, fun story with Animal Crossing. Last night, I actually had shooting stars on my island, which is great for some resources and getting some new recipes. good stuff. And I also had the NPC known as Red stop by selling artwork. Of course, if you know anything about the Animal Crossing series, you know that Red tends to pack a lot of forgeries and not legit artwork whenever he comes to visit, so you have to be careful to buy only the genuine artwork and not the phonies when he stops by. But when he stopped by yesterday, it turns out that he had 3 legit pieces of art. So I was able to scoop up one for myself, and then I had 2 of my friends stop over by my island in order to pick up the other 2 pieces of art. And it turns out that one of my friends actually already owned the piece of art that she picked up, so she let me have that piece of art to donate it to my museum. So it's a really fun experience overall. Just, oh boy, it's good stuff. Before we go on with any other fun stories like that, got ourselves a new Pokemon to talk about here. Meet Tropius, a Pokemon you're actually capable of finding in the wild on Route 119. This thing is pretty cool, all things considered, being grass flying type, and I want to say this thing is a very balanced Pokemon, not very so a tremendously strong one. Like, all of its stats, I feel, are decent, and it definitely learns quite an interesting amount of moves, being a grass and flying type and all that. But what's interesting about Tropius is that it learns a lot of HM moves. So if you're looking for an HM user for your team, I would definitely recommend picking up a Tropius, because they can learn a lot. Also, it's a good thing that I don't have a Grovyle with me, because I know what happens when a Grovyle and a Tropius get into a disagreement and leads to some stuff. Look out, dude, he's surprisingly boring. Hey, you, please don't go near the Weather Institute. We're standing lookout here. Hey, you, stay away from the Weather Institute. It's not safe. I don't have to take orders from you. Screw you guys. Friggin' blocking my path? It's got a new area here in the Weather Institute. I was sleeping, everyone went upstairs. We're gonna rest here in the bed and get all healed up. Also got a PC here if you want to switch around your team, access your items. I'm actually gonna deposit something right here. No, actually not. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and move this up here. But yeah, it seems like Team Aqua has an interest in the Weather Institute here. Huh, what's a kid doing here? So I believe this is our first time in the game actually getting to fight the female Team Aqua grunts. They're pretty cute. All things considered. That's these guys. Yeah, Harlequin will have an easy time dealing with these guys. So we're facing a lot of water and dark type Pokemon in this area. She'll definitely be good. Huh? I lost? Yes, you did. Oh no, I'll catch an earful of hallucinate, kid. Just take a nap in the bed. Another thing I'd like to note is that if you're playing Ruby or Omega Ruby, you'll instead be facing Team Magma here. The boss got interested in the research they have going here, so he sent us out. You quit meddling. I'm gonna meddle whether you like it or not, buddy. Another thing I like to mention about this area is that if you're playing in the remakes of this, and you get to this point, there are some changes they actually do to the story here involving the characters that are pretty interesting, all things considered. And it definitely add a lot more depth to the ongoing story. Which is all well and good. I really like how the remake handles the story involved in fleshing out its characters. Blasted! Blasted by a kid! Technically, you were blasted by a cactus, which, debatably, is even worse. Just gonna move past you and head up here. Another double battle! The Institute created a type of Pokemon that has something to do with the weather. We're here to take them. Don't tell me you're looking for that weather Pokemon too. That's a no-no. We were here to get it first. So apparently we have a Pokemon relating to weather here. It's pretty helpful considering I was going off about just how useful weather can be for your Pokemon. Okay, nothing that we haven't already faced before. Like, seriously, these things should be a Mightyena and a Golbat by now. Why are they so weak? It's kind of the downside about Magma and Aqua, is that in terms of power, the Grunts really don't have a lot in terms of power. Like, they mostly use just unevolved Pokemon, which really makes them underwhelming compared to some of the other villains we've seen. Like, say what you will about Team Flare, but they actually use good Pokemon on their teams, and actually use fully evolved Pokemon on when it's an appropriate time to use them. Like, seriously. Oh no, overall I like the ideas of behind Team Aqua and Magma with these rival teams that are that feel a lot more like they're trying to do something that they feel is right. They're not really outright evil. But in terms of actually being a threat in-game, they really aren't that much of a threat, unless you're counting the bosses. And even in that case, they don't really use a lot of Pokemon that you need to worry about. Are plants being spoiled by a kid? Oh, will you look at my Pokemon? I can't, they're gone. Huh, so what? What we want? We really want isn't here. The Pokemon they made here can control the weather freely. We at Team Aqua definitely need it. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Dottie's got an item for us. Let's see here. Ultra Ball, that is very good. I am very happy for that. Yeah, Harlequin and Alexa are good for what's ahead. We're Team Aqua. We appear wherever anything rare is found. So I know this area was actually the set piece for a fairly interesting episode of the anime. Let's just say that it involves like a double-edged agent impersonating one of the researchers of the Weather Institute in order to obtain critical data, and just, oh man, that was a cool episode, all things considered. It was very cool. Hoenn does have its fair share of good episodes of the show. It's not really my favorite season of the whole show, because, oh boy, Sinnoh and Alola are easily the peak in terms of the anime's quality, but Hoenn does have its moments. I wouldn't really say it's the weakest season. Like, I definitely feel like that would be the original whole season of the show. But yeah. So in terms of the stuff that's been going on, earlier today I was actually replaying Shantae Risky's Revenge, which I have previously streamed before, but this time I was playing through in the harder mode, where you play in this armor that gets you, that essentially decreases the magic consumption when you're using your magic items, but doubles the damage that you take from threats, so it's definitely a much harder experience, but I'm still enjoying it, all things considered. Like, I know that Risky's Revenge is easily one of the weakest games in the Shantae series, but it still has its moments. But here we got a battle. You're gonna meddle in Team Aqua's affairs? You're either absolutely fearless, simply ignorant, or both. You're so cute, you're disgusting. I'll put you down, kitty. So got ourselves a new fight here. Aqua admin Shelly. God, I love her design. If you're playing Ruby or Omega, well, Omega Ruby is a different case, but speaking purely in Generation 3, if you're playing Ruby, you'll instead be facing Miss Shelley's Magma counterpart, Courtney, in her basically only appearance in Generation 3. She only appears in Ruby. She doesn't make an appearance at all in Emerald, which is quite strange given the added emphasis they do to Team Magma in certain points of the story here. Now, of course, if you are playing the remakes in Omega Ruby, you'll instead fight Tabitha here. You're disgustingly strong. It's bad enough to have Team Magma blunder about, but now there's you. What makes you want to sniff around our business anyway? We have a situation here. A Team Magma mob just passed the Weather Institute. They appear to be headed for Mount Pyre. What? We can't waste any more time here. We have to hurry to Mount Pyre too. Team Magma, just you wait. Thanks to you, we're safe. Might be an odd way of thanking you, but take this Pokemon. So we get Castform. This thing is interesting. It's a pure normal type with average stats overall, but its type changes depending on the weather condition, except for Sandstorm, which, again, I really don't get. We're not going to give you a nickname because you're not really that important to us. That Pokemon changes shape according to the weather conditions. There's plenty of them in the Institute. Go on and take it. I've been researching rain for many years, but it's ridiculous to think that humans can freely change the weather. I have opinions on that I am not going to share. But yeah, I want to head back to the PC and check out this Castform because there is something interesting about this thing. This Castform has a held item, Mystic Water. This is the water equivalent of the Miracle Seed and the Charcoal, which will increase the power of water-type attacks. Shani, what you have with us? Quick Claw. That's a good item, but I think adding more power to your stab moves will be really good. So, we're going to give you the Mystic Water. And is there anyone that could benefit from Quick Claw? Obviously, Armstrong will work well with that. I still want Amulet Coin Alexa for added money. Let's see here. Yeah, he's the slowest Pokemon we got right now. And I don't really think he needs a boost to his stab attack. So, yeah, we'll give him the Quick Claw, just to make him a bit faster in battle. With that, let's put away this item here, and we'll be good. So yeah, back to Castform. It has average stats overall, but depending on the weather, it will change its type. Becoming a water type in rain, a fire type during sunny weather, and becoming an ice type in hail, which is a status condition that we haven't seen up to this point, but it's an interesting one, all things considered. And here we got another area we can surf down, and another elixir. Very good. You'll definitely want to go down this river because there is some good stuff for us down here. I also believe this is an area where you can potentially catch feedbacks. So over here, this is a little patch of grass over here. You can pick up an Ultra Ball. Very helpful to us. Has a much higher catch rate than regular Pokeballs, which will be very good to us. And we don't need you here. Go away, Oddish. I guess I could also note, Oddish is one of the most common Pokemon you can encounter in this area. I believe you're also capable of encountering its evolution, Blue. So if you're looking to pick them up for the Pokedex or for your team, now's a good point to pick them up. Oh, hello there, Tropius. I might actually catch this thing for agent purposes, because that could be very beneficial to us. Alright, Alexa, Thunder Wave this thing. And then we're going to Quick Attack it a bunch to weaken it, and we should be good. So I know that Tropius does have a kinda low catch rate. It's actually on par with a few legendary Pokemon in this series, but shouldn't be too bad, all things considered. It's definitely an interesting Pokemon. I feel like it's a very balanced Pokemon, and if you're looking for an interesting grass type, it's definitely a cool one to use. I will also state that Tropius does not evolve. Which, I mean, look at this thing. It already looks like a fully evolved Pokemon. So, yeah, overall, it's very cool. It's interesting seeing this grass type that has not only growing leaves from its back, which it's able to fly with, because that's what Tropius does. It flies using its leaves, which is so cool. But it also has fruit growing below its head, which is pretty cool, all things considered. It's like this thing is a sentient tree, basically. Tropius, the fruit Pokemon. It flies by flapping its broad leaves. The bunch of fruit that grows on its neck is deliciously sweet. In the spring, it scatters pollen from its neck. And you are a female, so I think I'll name you Banan. Sorry, I had to. Yeah, pretty good Pokemon to use for HM purposes. Over down here is something you'll definitely want to pick up. The Leaf Stone. This is a item you can use to evolve the Gloom into one of its evolutions, or you can use it on a Nuzleaf to evolve it. Overall, a good item if you're using one of those grass types. It would definitely be helpful. There is another Pokemon that evolves with the Leaf Stone this generation, but you are unable to actually encounter it in the wild in this game, so I don't really feel the need to bring it up. But just note that it is a Pokemon that I used during my Leaf Green streams and was a very helpful team member. So we're almost done this route, but we haven't actually obtained everything we can and get here. We are going to have to come back here later on in order to fully complete this area, but focus on that later. And there's still some Pokemon in this area that we have not encountered yet, but we'll go over them very soon because we're actually pretty close to encountering them in the main story. So don't think I need to save here. We should be good to go forward. Oh, this guy. Haley, so this is where you've been looking for Pokemon? Let me see how good you got. I'll test you. Now, it's a battle, so battle! You are not gonna beat me this time, buddy. I have a grass type now. Yet, you have a battle with Brendan or May, depending on your trainer choice here. Level 29, huh? That's a decent level to be at, buddy. And your Longray's looking fairly strong at this point. It's definitely had a lot of good experience. Thunderbolt! Oh, that's beautiful. Alexa, have I mentioned how much I love you? Oh, you're sending out your Marshtomp. I remember that thing giving us so much trouble earlier in an adventure. I even drew art about how much this thing brutalized my team. Well, you know what I say to that? Absorb! Drain it of its bodily fluids, Harlequin! I don't know why I'm sounding like a villain at this point, but this is what pain does to me! This Marshtomp brought me so much pain, and I wanted to suffer! There we go. And last Pokemon is a Slugma. Seen plenty of these things before, and yeah, this thing is not a trouble to us at all. Also, seriously, buddy, only free Pokemon? Like, I have 5 Pokemon on my main team right now. You stood no chance this time. Huh, you've gotten pretty darn decent. I'd say you're good enough to search for Pokemon anywhere. Here, I'll give you this. Try it out. HM2, a fairly interesting hidden machine. Use Fly, and your Pokemon instantly carries you to any town you've already visited. But you need the 4-tree gym badge to do that. Anyway, I have to move along. I know that song. It's one of my favorites from All American Rejects. Hahaha, way to go, Haley. I just passed by a trainer riding a bike. You just beat that trainer, didn't you? It's pretty obvious that you did. The kid looked really upset with a face all red from anger. Sure seen her run into you often. Go out to 4-tree gym next? I expect you'll do well at the gym. Well, I'll be seeing you. It's been a while since we've seen Scott. Wonder what he's been up to lately. Probably searching for more strong trainers, obviously. Yeah, with that, we are almost done this area. Let's get this double battle here because, of course, hit me with a power cord. Victory's mine. It's our time to shine. Oh, yeah. To lurk in shadows and live in darkness. That is my destiny. I emerge to challenge you. Fabian and Yasu. Manectric and Ninjas. Nothing we haven't already seen at this point. So, on topic of other things lately, so recently rewatched one of Proton John's stream archives, because they always have some good content to them, and pretty good stuff. He was racing with a lot of different people in quite a few games. One of which was Super Mario Land, which definitely got me in the nostalgic feels. Like, that is quite an interesting Mario game that really doesn't get brought up a lot when people talk about the series, but still fairly interesting. It's a very unique game, very short, but still pretty cool with the things that it did for a early Game Boy game, which is very impressive. Another game that he streamed in that session was Rocket Knight Adventures, which was a game that I absolutely adored when I was a kid. Like, we had a Genesis growing up, and that was one of the few games we had on it, and oh boy, it's a good time. Just being able to slice up enemies with your sword, and also just being able to traverse the areas on your jetpack and just this burst of speed, it was really cool. Definitely a very solid game from that time, and it's actually been re-released on Steam if I remember correctly, so I might want to check that out. Might even potentially want to stream it at some point. That'd be interesting to do. We see here that there is a path here through the trees. There's no item here, but I'm not running into anything, but my progress is still being blocked. Something unseeable's in the way. Interesting. To hide a tree, use a forest. Interesting philosophy there, buddy. Ninja Boy, Hideo. Ah, it's Kojima. Speaking of which, Metal Gear, that's a series I need to get more into sometime. Like, I know as a kid I played a bit of Sons of Liberty, but it's really my only real experience with the Metal Gear games. Definitely want to change that up sometime. Should be able to take this guy out no problem with Alexa. Alexa's so strong right now, she's gonna have no trouble in this battle coming up that I am looking forward to for a multitude of reasons. Thank you, buddy. To hide a tree, use a forest. To hide a Pokemon, use a Pokemon. There's no deep hidden meaning to that. Let's grab these Pomeg berries here. Be useful for something going forward. And over here, we finally arrived in Fortree City. It's quite the unique area here, as we're going to see very shortly. Sealed the team, cause definitely fought really hard getting here. And let's see what these guys say. Wow, you have a Pokénap, just like mine! Do you know about Pokénap's match call system? Access it, you can chat with registered trainers anytime. Also shows you which trainers want a rematch with you. Really nifty. Those Devon guys sure know what they're doing. They sure do. Have you done anything at the record corner? Pretty neat. Mixes and matches the records and trainers. I don't know quite how it works, but it's cool. It's exciting even. Haven't done that cause can't really access that feature the way I'm playing this. Listen, kid, are you working on a Pokédex? Go to the Safari Zone. That's my suggestion. Boy, does that bring back memories. Not exactly pleasant ones, but we'll see. Oh, I forgot Shanty's level 37 at this point. Oh boy, that's a strong bird we got here. I think I'm going to deposit my leaf stone and then we'll be good to go for it. There we go. Just listen to that music, so jolly. The city consists of homes built on trees. Perhaps because of that lifestyle, everyone's healthy and lively. Why, even myself, I feel as if I've grown 30 years younger. I could leave the coziness of the forest to head into this shop here. I don't have anything to sell right now, but definitely got some good items here. Being able to get Ultra Balls and Hyper Potions at this point. Oh, we have plenty of money at this point, so yeah, we'll buy a couple Hyper Potions, and then we're going to buy some Ultra Balls. That should be good for the future. Don't need any status items, so we'll be good. Super Repel lasts a long time and gets the job done. Much better than ordinary Repel. I already stock up on more items than I'm sure I'll need. You never know what might happen. To be safe than sorry. Indeed. A rare candy makes a Pokemon grow immediately by 1 level. Yep, and that's why they are too good to use at this point in the adventure. That's why I've been stockpiling them. And Pokemon evolve when you trade them, that's what I heard. Yep, quite a few. Living on top of trees is okay, but sometimes bug Pokemon come in through windows. It can be really startling. Pokemon and people have adapted to nature for survival. No need to make nature conform to the way we want to live. The treehouse of Fortree are great. I think it's the #1 town for living together with Pokemon. I really love this area aesthetically. Just having all these houses built in the treetops really makes this area stand out here in Hoenn. Very cool. Here's an interesting shop here. I'm buying a pretty desk and I'm putting my cute dolls on it. If I don't, when I decorate my secret base, my dolls will get dirty or poke with splinters. Merchandise you buy here is sent to your own PC. That's fantastic. Wish I could also deliver me home like that. It's got a store that sells furniture that will be used for secret bases here. I'm not going to buy any of these right now, but there will be a point where I will be going over secret bases in a bit more detail. So, just want to show off that these are areas where you can purchase items for those. Over here, the ground absorbs rainwater, and trees grow by drinking that water. Our Fortree City exists because it's both water and soil. I want to go to the Pokemon gym, but something's blocking the way. After all the bother I went through training on Route 120. Yeah, that's unfortunate. No one believes me, but I saw this gigantic Pokemon in the sky. It seemed to squirm as it flew toward Route 131. By the way, You, smell singed. You in a volcano or something? Nice talk with you, buddy. By being together at Pokemon, people make more and more friends. That brings the world closer together. I think that's wonderful. There, go, bird Pokemon! Heh, I asked my Winkle to run an errand for me. Interesting. Probably want to keep that in mind for later. Something unseeable's in the way. Weren't able to reach the gym at this time, but we should be able to take care of that relatively soon. What's that thing you have there? Oh, it's called Pokedex. Really awesome. While speaking about Pokedexes, I remembered something. I met this trainer Steven when I was searching for rare stones. Oh boy, he had some amazing Pokemon with him. They weren't just rare, they were trained to terrifying extremes. He might even be stronger than the gym leader in this town. People, Pokemon, their hidden powers are aroused by living in natural environments. Let this old woman see if your hidden powers awoken. I hold a coin in my hand. Tell me if I palmed it in the right hand or the left. Say right. Oh yes, correct. Let's try again. Jump on the coin. Right or left? Right again. Oh yes, correct. Shall try again. We'll jump on the coin. Right or left? Do left. Oh, splendid! Your hidden powers awoken. Here, take this and awaken the hidden power of your Pokemon. We received TM10 from this lady. Hidden power is a move that changes with the Pokemon. I went over this move before, but it's basically an attack that changes its power and typing depending on the values of your Pokemon. My wife relies on hidden power to stay awake. She just take a nap like I do and sleep talk. I can teach your Pokemon to sleep talk instead. Interested? So this is an interesting move we're able to have tutored here. Sleep Talk is a move that makes it so that if your Pokemon is asleep, Sleep Talk is one of the few moves that can actually be activated, in which case Sleep Talk will allow your Pokemon to randomly use one of its other attacks. It's fairly cool. I need it! I have to get me a Volbeat. I'll do anything for it. You hear that? My shout from the bottom of my heart? Having heard that, you trade your Volbeat for my Plusle, won't you? That is a terrible trade, and I do not recommend it. Training Pokemon with others is if you're training your own memories with other people. Indeed. So that takes care of that mess. So we've done pretty much everything we do in Forestry outside of actually challenging the gym. So let's head forward to Route 120 and see what we're able to do here. Why am I carrying this parasol? I'll tell you if you win against me. Sure. Clarissa here's got Roselia. It's not anything we haven't already fought before, so we should have no trouble here. Besides that, Armstrong can't be poisoned, which is very helpful here. And Wilmer, I'll actually switch out for that. Yeah, Wilmer should not give us any trouble here. Very good. Don't have to worry too much about rollout at this point. The team is like very over level compared to regular trainers here. But again, I'm not training for the regular trainers, I'm training for the bosses. And even then, I'm kind of over-leveled. Parasol can't ward off Pokemon attacks. No, they cannot. And I think Strong Sunlight's good for my Pokemon, so I shield them with my Parasol. Alright, I got rid of my previous HM user, so it's gonna reteach Cut to Dottie here. So I know I haven't gone over the HM that we just got from Brendan. I'll be going over it a little bit later just because as it has effects that we are unable to actually do at this point until we clear the next gym. But yeah, I'll definitely go over it afterwards. Just want to cut down these trees here. And at this spot, I believe, you get a rare candy. Very good item. And I'm definitely going to be sending that to the DC. So go down these steps here. There's something unseeable in the way. We've definitely been encountering a lot of those lately. If only we had a way to get past them. Also, hi Oddish. Bye Oddish. Well, look who it is. Oh, you're Haley, hi. Remember us from last time? Can you show us how much stronger you become? Okay, you interview. We got another battle against Gabby and Ty. This time they got Magneton and Loudred. They're definitely getting up there in terms of power. I will Iron Tail that Loudred, and then let's swap Harlequin out for Sure to deal with this Magneton. It's definitely a formidable duo we got here. Definitely up their game since last time. Armstrong, come on. Can't have you do this here. I also just want to say here, I really like Blaziken's back sprite here. It just looks very cool. It's in a good pose, you know. On the topic of Blaziken, it was actually one of the first generation free Pokemon to appear in the anime. It was in the main team of Harrison, the trainer who ended up beating Ash in the Silver Conference. And man, that was a cool battle. Just seeing Charizard go up against Blaziken was so cool. Rock solid! Remember that's the quote you gave us in the battle clincher last time. I never ever forget stuff like that. What do you think? Want to be interviewed again? Sure. Describe feelings about our battle. Let's be short and sweet. How did I feel about that? As I felt that that battle had a lot of flash fire to it. And I'm not just saying that because one of the Pokemon was a fire type. So, this is the last point in the Hoenn region where Gabby and Ty are able to appear. If you want to keep fighting them, you can just go back to Route 111 and fight them there. Then they'll pop up again on Route 118, and then they'll pop up again here. That is how you're able to keep fighting these guys, get more experience, get more money from them. It's all well and good. Now let's head down here. And be careful, because I believe in these patches of grass we can actually get something. Also, you can get something in the grass on this route that is fairly interesting. We've seen it before, but I mainly want to talk about it again if we can actually run into it. It is a rare Pokemon in this area, so probably not going to happen. My Pokemon's strong, how about yours? I don't know, my Pokemon are pretty strong at this point. I got a little Swablu. Not gonna be the last time we see one of these things. Alright, good work, Armstrong. Your Pokemon were stronger. Yes, he was. You can be counted on to get better. I'd like to register you in my Pokénav. Alright, Robert. You should be a good opponent later on. Look who it is. And look what's on the bridge there. Notice the shadow. Something unseeable's in the way. Haley? Hi. It's been a while. There's something here you can't see, right? Now, if I were to use this device on the invisible obstacle... No, rather than describe it, I should just show you. That'd be more fun. Haley, your Pokemon ready for battle? Damn straight. Haley, show me your true power as a trainer. Steven used the Devon Scope. An invisible Pokemon became completely visible. The startled Pokemon attacked. So we're actually able to run into Kecleon here. So there are a few points in the Hoenn region where you can actually encounter Kecleon as a forced encounter. However, if you want to catch a legit way, they're a very, very rare encounter on Route 119. And possibly Route 120, I'm not 100% sure about these things. If you're looking for a very interesting Pokemon to use, Kecleon's definitely up there. It has the ability to change its type depending on the last attack that you use against it. And it learns quite a variety of different moves that you would expect a normal type to have by level up. So it's definitely an interesting Pokemon, not one of the strongest ones, but it's fairly unique, all things considered. I see, your battle style's intriguing. Your Pokemon have obviously grown since I first met you in Dewford. I'd like you to have this Devon Scope. Who knows? There may be other concealed Pokemon. So get the Devon Scope here, allowing us to encounter Kecleon in certain areas. Haley, I enjoy seeing Pokemon and trainers who strive together. I think you're doing great. Well, let's meet again somewhere. I am so bi for Steven. Don't look at me like that. Alright, so let's go trigger this battle with a Kecleon here so we can head down here, because there's quite a few things for us down this way. I love Kecleon's battle animation, how it sticks out its tongue and just starts disappearing and appearing rapidly. It's very cool. Also, chameleons are up there as one of my favorite reptiles. They're just really cool animals. And it should be no surprise that one of my favorite animated movies of all time, Rango, also stars a chameleon. So definitely a reason to pick up a Kecleon if you're definitely a fan of chameleons. Or play Sword and Shield and pick Sobble as your starter, because, yeah. So down here we have a cavern. This is the Scorched Slab. We can pick up TM11 Sunny Day, allowing us to trigger harsh sunlight in battle. So this is the only thing available to us here in the Scorched Slab in Generation 3. It's purely so that you can get the Sunny Day TM. If you're playing the remakes Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, however, they add a lot more to the Scorched Slab. They actually give a lot of floors to this area, basically an optional dungeon, and you're able to encounter a pretty cool legendary Pokemon during the post-game, Heatran, a Fire Steel type Pokemon. Overall, a decently good Pokemon. As a legendary, it has much higher stats than other Pokemon you're able to encounter in the game. It is just generally a very solid Pokemon. Has very unique typing, great abilities, and is just very cool. It's also one of the few legendary Pokemon to actually have gender. You can get male or female Heatran, which you don't really see that in most legendary Pokemon. Most legendary Pokemon, if they have a gender, it's a fixed gender. Like for, say, Cresselia, you can only encounter females of. But yeah, that is there if you're playing Omega or Alpha. Meanwhile, we still got a decently good TM out of that. Probably not one I'm going to be relying on too much. It would be pretty good on... I'm saying here, it would be good for Jerk to power up his fire moves, but... yeah, I don't really see the need for it right now. I just want to go in here to deposit this rare candy. And I healed up the team, right? Yep. Oh, Dottie, you have an item for us. Did you pick this from the Kecleon we just beat? Super Potion. Okay, that's good. Definitely be needing healing items for the area ahead. Because it's finally time to take on the next gym. if you've done pretty much everything I've been doing in streams, especially going across the sea to fight as many trainers as you can before this point, you should be decently leveled for the gym ahead. Definitely recommend being in the mid-30s here. So around level 33 to 36, you should be good here. Yo, how's it going, Champion Bound Haley? Fortree Gym Leader Hoenn as a master of flying-type Pokemon. She's waiting at the back of this gym behind the rotating doors. She's waiting for new challengers who are trying to take wing. Okay, go for it. So, unlike what you'd expect to have from a gym in the middle of a jungle, we're instead facing a flying gym leader, not a grass gym leader. Kind of odd, but still pretty cool. Humberto. Never met a person with that name. Sorry. Leading off already with a very solid flying type, Skarmory. Let's go to Alexa here. So, strategies for dealing with flying types. There's a lot of different Pokemon that I can recommend for this area. Obviously, electric types are really good. Magnetric, which you can obtain very easily before coming to this point, is an exceptionally good Pokemon to use here, being very fast and being able to do a lot of damage with its electric attacks, especially if you give it the Thunderbolt TM that Watson gives you. In terms of other electric types, you should be able to get Magneton as well as Voltorb's Evolution. And by this point, by going to New Mauville, they are both exceptionally good electric types to use here. If you challenge yourself by using a Plusle or Minun for your team, they're also decently good here. There's not too much that they have to worry about, and their electric type attacks, even with their below average stats, should be able to handle things here. Obviously, rock types are also very good here, and you definitely have some good opportunities to pick up rock types. Besides, obviously, Aron that you could get, there is also Geodude that we had quite a few opportunities to pick up. There's Solrock and Lunatone that you can get in Meteor Falls. What else? I'm thinking, is there one other rock type that I'm forgetting here? Also, Armstrong's Learning Protect. I'm not going to teach him that move. It's a good one, but I don't think he needs it on his moveset. Now, flying types are weak to ice, but we haven't had any opportunities to catch ice-type Pokemon at this point of the adventure. And we're not going to have the opportunity to catch them until a little bit later on this adventure, so it's kind of hard to recommend ice here. Obviously, you're able to obtain the Ice Beam TM from both the abandoned ship and at the Mauville Game Corner, so I can highly recommend picking that up, because it is very helpful here, especially against a certain Pokemon we're going to be encountering in the boss battle here. In terms of resistances, obviously, Rock is very good here as it resists flying-type attacks, so does Electric. Steel is also very good here as it's able to resist flying moves. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of what flying is weak against. Obviously, you want to be worried if you're going in here with a grass type, with a bug type, with a fighting type, because they all have their issues with dealing with flying types, obviously. So they're not going to be the best here. Another thing to note is that the flying type is completely immune to ground types. So if you're relying on a strong ground type, like, say, a Sandslash or a Baltoy, they're probably not going to do so well here. Alright, Alexa should be able to take out that Skarmory. But yeah, that's pretty much the basic strategies you'll want to go here. Exploit the flying type weaknesses, and you should have no problem here. It's a pretty simple gym, all things considered, although we're definitely seeing some strong Pokemon here. Like, we've already dealt with a Skarmory, now we're going up against a Tropius. So definitely upping their game here. Some very high-power Pokemon in this area. Alright, Tropius is down. You're strong. I was beaten! Yes, you were. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know he's very good here, but let's switch Armstrong out for now. The Harlequin's gonna get wrecked here by whatever we got here, so let's keep Alexa in the front. Now this area here with the puzzles involved in the sliding is fairly interesting. You want to be very careful with your positioning of the doors to get through. There's no need for Winona and Gym Leader to deal with you. I'm plenty good enough for you. Beloved as a bird Pokemon aspire to join this gym. As a member of the Fortree Gym, I'm not allowed to lose. Flint and Eduardo. Oh, looks like Harlequin's getting in on this battle after all. You can take out the Doduo because it's fairly weak. So I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna go through things after this gym. Probably gonna take out the rest of Route 120, and then we're gonna call it before heading off to the next area, because still quite a ways to go. No, before we reach a new destination. Oh, this guy, Xatu. Boy, do I have things to say about this Pokemon. But I'll save that discussion for later. Xatu is a Psychic Flying type. Very high speed and special attack on this thing. It is an exceptionally good Pokemon. Cannot recommend it enough. Now, while it doesn't have as diverse a moveset as other Psychic types, having the Psychic Flying typing gives it some very good offensive options. And I could definitely recommend this thing, depending on your team formation. Actually pretty close to the point we can actually catch Xatu in the wild, which is definitely a plus, and I could definitely recommend it there. Winona, I lost! It was too much of a load for me to bear. There are no bears here, only birds. The world's huge, and there are countless tough trainers. I'm gonna keep training and make myself even stronger. Winona's cute and she's strong. She's the ultimate gym leader. Right. Let's move Harlequin up here. Now that you got that level up. Then we'll deal with this guy, because we need to advance this. You better know that there are all sorts of flying type Pokemon. You do know that, right? Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of flying types in the past. So in my playthroughs, I tend to have at least one flying type on my teams, as can obviously been seen from the previous streams that I've done. But yeah, not only because flying is good for taking out some pretty common types like grass and bug and fighting, but being able to use a certain thing that is very helpful to you. You just need to know your stuff. They're just a very convenient Pokemon to have, not just for battle, but for utility, which is something I really look forward to in a Pokemon. So actually don't want Jerk in the front for what we're going to be facing up ahead. And there is definitely some moveset changes we're going to make very soon. So here we're going to go up there, hit that one to go down. Down here, move this one back, so we can go up, and there we go. I swear, that last puzzle took me so long to get through as a kid. Also, I believe this gym is actually inverted in the original Ruby and Sapphire. Alright, before facing you, Above all else, I recommend having Ice Beam on one of your Pokemon. Shanty, you're able to learn this, so I feel like it's about time you get it. Haven't really had a use for Stockpile lately, so I think we're gonna get rid of that. Hopefully, if things go well, we should be done with this battle fairly quickly. Should leave with Armstrong here. Good. Alright. It is time to face the 4-Tree Gym Leader. I am Winona. I'm the leader of the 4-Tree Pokemon Gym. I become one with bird Pokemon and have soared the skies. However, ruling the battle, we have triumphed with grace. Witness the elegant choreography of bird Pokemon and I. Winona, I consider a pretty challenging fight here, depending on your team setup. Leading off here, she will use a Swablu, only in Emerald version. If you're playing Ruby Sapphire in the remakes, she will instead have a Swellow to start her team. And man, Armstrong was just easily able to take that thing out. I know it's several levels lower, but seriously. Oh boy, there it is. She's sending out her ace right away. Shanty, I'm counting on you here. So from Swablu, she's now going to Altaria. This thing, as you can imagine, is Swablu's evolution. It is a dragon flying type. One of the few dragon types we're actually able to encounter up to this point. And being a dragon flying type, it is very weak to ice. Use Ice Beam against this thing, because if you don't, this thing will destroy you. It has Dragon Dance, which buffs its attack and its speed, making it incredibly powerful and fast. And this thing is able to use Earthquake, which it will use to just obliterate any Pokemon that is not immune to ground-type attacks. Earthquake is one of the strongest moves in the game and is just what makes this Altaria so deadly. Of course, thanks to my team composition, Shanty was easily able to take that thing out. Yep, that's why I said, Winona can be a very grueling fight to get through if your team is not prepared for it. Compared to some of the fights we've had before, I feel like she's a bit easier than Flannery and Norman, but still a very tough opponent when you're not prepared for it. If we didn't have Ice Beam, this would be a very grueling battle. Anyway, Jerk took care of Tropius there, and he should have an easy time taking out Skarmory, exploiting those non-flying weaknesses there. Alright, level 37. Very good, buddy. And then Winona's final Pokemon is Pelipper. I'm guessing that this thing is here to counter any potential rock types that you might be using against her. So Pelipper definitely want to go for electric types to exploit that weakness. And there we go. We handle Winona very easily. But that's no surprise. Our team is very high level at this point. We easily dwarfed her in terms of levels because we actually went and did some exploring and got some much needed power-ups. If it wasn't for Ice Beam, this would be an entirely different battle. Never before have I seen a trainer command Pokemon with more grace than I. In recognition of your prowess, I present to you this gym badge. With the Feather Badge, all Pokemon up to level 70, even those received through trades, will obey your every command. You'll also be able to use the ancient move Fly outside a battle. And this is a gift from me. TM40. Definitely a good move. TM40 contains Aerial Ace. Its speed. No Pokemon should be able to avoid it. And we register Winona in the Pokénav. Though I fell to you, I'll remain devoted to bird Pokemon. So let's look at that TM we just got. Aerial Ace is a 60 base power flying type attack that cannot miss. This is an exceptionally good TM because it's a very good coverage move. More Pokemon than just flying types are able to learn it, like Jerk and Armstrong. This big, bulky creature with rock and steel armor is able to learn Aerial Ace. Yeah. As I said, a very interesting move. And now our Pokemon can actually use Fly both in battle and on the field, allowing us to fly to any previous town that we have already been to. Yes, we achieved liftoff, obviously. This is good. So now that we've beaten that gym, I feel now is a good time to finally teach Shanty Fly. And Shanty's getting all the good moves right now. First Surf, then Ice Beam, and now Fly. This thing is a 70 base power move that gets up to 90, I believe, in Generation 4. This thing works very similar to Dig. You spend one turn of the Pokemon being removed from the field, and on the second turn, it actually strikes. Definitely has a lot of different utility to it. But do note that there are some attacks that will be able to hit your Pokemon even when it is flying. Hiya, Haley, it's me. Just I thought you wanted the 4-tree gym. Your strength. Perhaps you really are the trainer that I've been searching for. Remember, you have a fan in me. I'll be cheering for the sidelines. Keep up the great work. Sure thing, Scott. Alright, that battle went really well. Let's go heal the team, and then we're going to tackle everything we are able to do on Route 120. Oh boy. Alright, so just to demonstrate this new ability we have, it's able to fly, and we can visit pretty much any other town that we have been to previously. This is a great move to have. Definitely have a flying type on your team so that you are able to use Fly. It is a very convenient move. Very good. And now we've done everything we can do here in 4-Tree City for the time being, so let's move on. There's definitely a lot for us going forward. Route 120, we definitely have a lot to go through. There's a lot of trainers here, and definitely want to get through all of them before we reach our stopping point this stream. Because down here we got another area that can potentially have rain, which is pretty good, depending on your team composition here. Actually, there's a few trainers down here that actually take advantage of the rain, which makes some of the battles here fairly interesting. Man, just look at Shanty's moveset right now. This is so good. I pretty much have Shanty's moveset finalized at this point, which is pretty good for her. There's definitely been a very reliable team member, being fairly strong and bulky, and just very good. She's had excellent utility and just been complementing the team very well. Couldn't have asked for a better Pelipper. You soared above me. Well, yeah, I was using a bird. Anything else to say? The move fly is convenient, don't you think? Pokemon's flying, almost no moves can strike it. Another thing I like to say about this area, you actually can go forward here without fighting Winona. In fact, there's pretty much no reason to actually battle Winona to advance the story until much, much later on in the adventure. So you can totally skip her and go on with your journey. Of course, I wanted to take her out at this point because, obviously, we were very high leveled, and it just made sense to take her out so that we would have access to fly here. But oh boy. I recall this double battle being very infamous. What I want here is switch up the team to Harlequin and Alexa. I feel like they're going to be good for facing these two. This Magnet trick and this cast form can be very deadly here. This Magnet trick is coming packed with Thunder, which in Rain has 100 accuracy. It's one of the strongest electric type moves in the game. Even cast forms using Thunder here. Strange that they would both target the water flying type, when easily one of them would be able to take it out. Right. For Harlequin, let's get some health back on that Magnet trick, and then we're going to have Alexa Thunderbolt the castle. That should be good. Yeah, there's another thing about cast form I didn't go over, in that cast form has a kind of a signature move. A lot of other Pokemon are able to learn at this point, but cast form is probably the one that's most well known for it. And that's the move Weather Ball. It's an attack that starts out at 50 base power and is a normal type move under normal circumstances. But depending on the weather will change Weather Ball's power to 100 base power, and will also change the move's type depending on the weather. When it's raining, Weather Ball's water type. When it's sunny, its type is fire. When it's hailing, its type is ice. And in Sandstorm, it becomes rock. So, it's a fairly interesting move. A lot of Pokemon are able to learn it in later generations, and it definitely has its utility. Definitely want to heal that paralysis off Alexa here. Alright, let's beat these two. Definitely some tough ones. I think it's awesome. You're so strong battling with your favorite Pokemon. Sure thing. Aerosol wouldn't suit you at all. Something like this would only get in your way. Whatever you say, lady. Let's actually use our berries here. That's where we have them. So as we're going for this route, what's some stuff to talk about? Well, very recently, I've of course been playing Super Mario All-Stars on my Switch, because it's a game that's very dear to my heart. One that I really enjoyed as a kid. Although, fun story, I've never actually beaten any of the games that come on Super Mario All-Stars when I was a kid. So getting to play through them again, this time with the drive of actually finishing the games, is pretty good. And very recently, a few days ago, I've actually managed to beat Super Mario Bros. Free, which is good. I easily consider it the easiest game on that collection, and just what a solid game it is. The way it, truly makes the Mario series what it is today, I am really grateful for the game. It's not my favorite in the series, but damn is it a good one. And it definitely introduced a lot of conventions that became staples of the series for years to come. I have nothing but respect for it. In terms of other stuff, I've also been playing some more Tetris 99. Which, interesting thing, I only recently really got into the whole thing where now you can actually earn a currency in the game by doing daily missions, and by doing those missions to acquire those items that you're able to exchange them for different themes and for the Tetris board. And there was one theme I noticed where it's oh, I am definitely grabbing that. So there is a theme that's like very Halloween inspired, like this black gothic castle set to this very cool old purple sunset background, and just so awesome. I felt like it would be a very cool thing to invest in. So yeah, I was actually able to unlock that theme in Tetris 99 and use it. It's very cool. Very awesome because I just really love that aesthetic. The fact that it is very close to becoming autumn is, of course, a very good thing. Let's switch Shanty out of here now that you're level 38. In terms of some game announcements that have been going on lately, definitely some interesting stuff that's been announced I'm very much looking forward to. For one, there's going to be a follow-up to Hyrule Warriors that is specifically set in the Breath of the Wild point. Like, it's a prequel to the events of Breath of the Wild that shows what happened to, like, the heroes and stuff prior to Calamity Ganon waking up. So it'd be very cool to play that, even though I know what happens to these characters. So this trainer is interesting. Here in Emerald, she uses Sableye. In Ruby Sapphire and the remakes, she will instead use the Pokemon that Feebas evolves from. I'm not going to go over that just yet, because we'll definitely have a chance to go over it later when it appears in the story. But yeah, I just want to point that out because interesting little bit of trivia. And of course, she's a cool trainer, so she uses a full restore, sure. Go ahead and do that. I don't mind. I mind a lot. And another thing that was announced that me and my friends are very excited for. So, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, is being released for the Nintendo Switch, which is a pretty big deal. For those that don't know, the Scott Pilgrim game was a digital-only release on a few consoles a couple generations back, and after a few years, for whatever reason, I guess it was due to copyright or something, the game was actually pulled from the stores. So there was like no way for people to actually buy this game for quite a few years. So having it be re-released on the Nintendo Switch, intact with like all the DLC come equipped with it, is just really cool getting to finally experience that game for myself. I'm really looking forward to playing it. Especially because I believe it has online multiplayer, so getting to play that alongside my friends will be really fun, because I swear, one of my buddies just will not shut up about getting to play that game. That and the Super Mario 3D All-Stars have been things that he's been talking a lot about lately, and definitely excited for them too. They're going to be really fun to get to visit. Now we're done with the trainers on this side of the route. Still a few things for us down here. You can see there is a few pathways through the grass here. You can safely maneuver around a couple battles by using these pathways. And there's some trainers down here. Should have a fairly good time getting through here. Right, the Lotad is outie. Not really getting any good experience with these guys. Let's let Harlequin take out this next one. It's not really anything I need to worry about from Ombre. So I'll definitely want to train up Harlequin for the future, because there is a certain battle coming up that I definitely want Harlequin trained for. She's gonna be like one of my main assets for that fight. I definitely have a lot of plans for some of the future things going on. Like, for one, so the team has had 5 permanent members for quite a while now, but we haven't had our 6th team member. We've been carrying some Pokemon on around in order to use their pickup abilities, but they haven't been actual battlers on the team. They've only been around for utility. Fairly soon, that's all going to change. We are very close to picking up our 6th and final team member, and I am really excited to add them to the team. Mainly because it's not a Pokemon that I really use in the original Gen 3 game, so it's going to be really interesting to get to use them. I definitely used it when I revisited Hoenn for Alpha Sapphire, and goddamn was it a good team member. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to use it here in Generation 3 at long last. Like, every Pokemon I've used on our current team, I've used in previous playthroughs, but our 6th team member is going to be a completely new experience for me. And it'll be very interesting to actually get to see it work in the 3rd generation. Just, man, I've been just really excited and just anticipating this for so long. Let's register the item finder, because I think there's some things here for us. Yeah. So where's this hidden item? Oh, it's up there, huh? None. Right there you can pick up a zinc. Very good. Yeah, let's give that to Shanty to up her defenses a bit. Oh, there's a Kecleon down there. We can just avoid that entirely by taking a little shortcut through the grass. I'll check your Pokemon, see if they're fit for the outdoors. Don't bother, buddy. We are already more than equipped. Lorenzo with a Seedot. It's been a while since we've seen one of these little guys. Definitely a Pokemon I really like. Very simple design, but still pretty cute, all things considered. Although I know this thing was announced in like one of the more recent gens, like people would be in an uproar about its design. Like, come on people, not every Pokemon design has to be a 10 out of 10. Strong. No, you can take this thing. Come on. Alright, good use of Iron Tail there. Oh, still standing. Okay. Ombre is a little on the bulky side, I will give it that, so... It's nice I was actually able to hang in there against one of Armstrong's strongest attacks. Man, we must have gone like a low damage roll on Iron Tail if Strength is doing this much damage to this thing. Alright, level 38 on Armstrong. Very good. Actually, pretty close to getting Armstrong ready for a very much needed power-up. We're going to be getting that sometime in the future. I don't know if it's going to be the next stream, but it'll definitely be sometime in the future. Let's go for Pin Missile here. Do some very good damage to Nuzleaf here. On Harlequin, very nice. With Pokemon that strong, you're in no danger of needing rescue. Damn straight, buddy. Travel wherever your heart desires a Pokemon. That's the joy of being a trainer. Sure thing, buddy. Alright, let's switch these guys around. And we're actually almost done this area. There's only a few more things for us to check out. Let's just cut for the grass here and pick this up. Nugget. It's very good. We can sell that for some good money. And I believe that is everything we get in this area. Yep. So we'll head down here. Down here. So look at that effect with the clouds on the water. I really like that. Just seriously, that looks so cool. I don't think there's anything down there for us to get. Yep, just checking there. This guy you'll definitely want to battle. Want to battle? Sure. It's got a bug cat maniac here. And he's one of the few trainers in the game that actually uses the Surskit. And I believe this guy, when you battle him, you will register him on your Pokénav, which is fairly good because he's one of the few times you're actually able to encounter Surskit's evolution in the game. So if you want it to at least be seen in your Pokédex, you'll definitely want to register this guy. But yeah, free unevolved Pokemon, you're really not all that impressive, buddy. Take care of that, and we're good. Lost it! Yes, you did. Do you have a Pokénav? Yes, I do, and I immediately regret this. So for here, we can get a Hyper Potion. Good. Then one ahead over here. Berries grow by soaking up sunlight. We help the berries grow by watering them regularly. It's an expression of love, isn't it? Yes, you understand what I mean. You should take this. Get a figgy berry from this woman. Maybe that berry's rare. You raise it with loving care. If we look at our berries here, the figgy is an interesting type of berry. So this lady, she will give you a random berry once a day. The berries that she tends to give will be ones that are fairly interesting. They restore the HP of Pokemon by, I'm not really sure how much. I believe it's around 30%. But the thing about these berries is that they have a negative effect on your Pokemon if they don't like the taste of it. So your Pokemon will have a different taste depending on their nature. So if they are a nature that is that benefits their attack stats, they will like spicy flavors. So, and basically, these kind of berries will negatively affect your Pokemon, where if your Pokemon doesn't like the taste, they'll get confused. So definitely want to be careful and considerate about the natures of your Pokemon before giving them these berries. Over here, by surfing over, we can pick up a full heal. That is fairly good at this point. And there's a hidden item here. Alright. Definitely want to pick this up wherever it is. Rare candy. Very good. Definitely pick that up. And that's it for hidden items in this spot. So let's head over here. And we're gonna go this way. I will adopt the movements of Pokemon and create new ninja techniques. That sounds fun, buddy. Kago. Sorry if conversation here is going to be a little dry at this point, but we're almost done this session. There's only a few more battles for us, so there's not really any heavy topics I feel like discussing at this point. Come on, Alex, I know you can handle this thing. Don't let the accuracy get the better of you. That's good. The creation of new ninja techniques is but a distant dream. Indeed. Perhaps I ought to apprentice under a ninja sensei. I hear Splinter's hiring these days. Or Shredder, but I wouldn't recommend him. Now we're close to a level up. We can have Alexa fight this thing. So since we're almost done this area, just want to mention that Route 120 is one of the few areas where you can encounter Absol in the wild. So if you want to pick up that guy, I definitely recommend it. So we've seen this rock formation in a few areas up to this point. We'll definitely want to remember this area for much later on in the adventure. Oh, hi there, Chip. Please tell me your last name is Ahoy, because that would be amazing. Also here, let's go for Shanty, because you're both immune to what this thing could do, and you're also strong against it. Well, you're not immune to Psychic. But still, easily able to handle this thing. Sandshrew. Alright. Sandslash here should be very easy to take this thing out. Very good. What a disgraceful setback! That giant rock, I'd like to believe it may indeed contain ancient ruins, but I see no entrance. Well, it may not have an entrance right now, but who knows? It's still very young in the adventure. We might unravel the mysteries of that sometime in the future. Oddish, could you go away, please? Actually, we might be able to get a level up by beating this thing. Come on, Alexa, you can do this. Almost got it. Okay, sure, you can use acid, sure. Alright, Alexa leveled up to 38. Very good. The team is coming along very nicely at this point. Should be expected, given all the battles we've been doing in the last couple of sessions that have definitely strengthened the team. But with that, stepping forward, we got Route 121. There was a lot more to see and talk about in this area, but we are going to call things here for the time being. Next time on Pokémon Emerald, we are going to go forward, get to the next town, and see about catching us our 6th and final team member. Until next time, have a good night and take care.